1 o'clock on the dot. Good afternoon from the 104.5 The Zone Studios. I'm Jackson Williams. Titans in Atlanta all week for joint practice with the Falcons ahead of Friday's preseason game. And today the team made a couple of moves, adding linebackers Khaleke Hudson and Blake Lynch while waiving David Benda and waived Anthony Orji with an injury designation. Around the NFL, the Texans have placed tight end Brevin Jordan on season-ending IR after he suffered a knee injury during yesterday's training camp practice. Jordan, a fifth-round pick in 2021, has 532 yards and 5 touchdowns in his first 4 seasons in the NFL. And Packers quarterback Jordan Love will undergo a procedure on the thumb of his non-throwing hand after hitting it on a helmet in practice. He is not expected to miss any regular season action. For our foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you need to visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Cover 2 with Blaine Bishop and Zach Lyons here on 104.5 The Zone, powered by All Four Seasons Garage Door. 615-737-1045 is the number. And we'll be joined by Coach Mack later this hour, talk about what he has seen from the Tennessee Titans joint practices with Atlanta Falcons over at Flowery Branch. And Blaine, I guess, not a great day for the team. I believe Chig, Jarvis Brownlee Jr., and Big Jeff both all cited that the players are starting out slow, coming out a little sluggish. Big Jeff talked about basically that these slow starts were kind of, it feels like sometimes they feel like an extension of last season when it comes to these, like, it's just, that's what he said. He said they were like an extension of last season. I don't know if he says it in the particular clip that we have. We have one from Jeffrey Simmons. We'll hear from Jeffrey Simmons here in just a moment talking about that. But I guess I wanted to ask you this. How much are the players responsible for a slow start, for not being, I guess, up for the battle or up for practice and all that kind of stuff? And how much of that is on the coach?
Well, I don't think I think you want in answers. In sports, there is no final answer or set way of anything. Everybody involved is part of it.
Gotcha.
Everybody's involved, from the leadership to the actual players to the coaching staff, even the athletic and equipment staff. Everybody's involved. Now, they made the decision, the coaches, especially the head coach, I'm assuming, that they wanted to do this. So they should have forewarned, give them a heads up. Hey, it's going to be a little tough out there. We're going to have to work through some kinks. Let's make sure we get off to a good start. So you got it in their head that it may be tough, but let's try not to be. So you try to be a little more proactive than reactive. So, hey, it happens, though. Hey, remember, going on the road is great for team bonding.
Yeah.
Remember, that's what he said, which, to me, as a player, for me, I just never have excuses once I step between the lines,
Gotcha.
man. That's just not how I was. It was, hey, man, you see a different color jersey. If you don't get excited to play, a sport that you loved growing up and then to get paid to do it, it's like no way around it for me. That never would happen. It's baffling for me I can't even relate to that.
Yeah.
To be honest,
it was really interesting. So
I've been on some sorry teams, by the way. I was on a team that was 2-14. Excuse me. But if you turn on the tape, boy, I was lit like a shotgun out of you know what. And just because that just not, when you put on the tape, man, it's all bets are off when you're in between the lines. There's no excuse for that. You know what? I'm actually proud of Simmons to kind of say the correct thing to a certain extent, but I wouldn't reference last season at all. Because guess what? Last year was last year. This is a whole new year. This is a whole new team. This is a new beginning. And we can't be doing crap that we did last year.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what he was trying to say. I didn't hear the interview.
Well, let's see. This is Jeffrey Simmons on the Titans' bad practice and the need for less talk and more action.
Okay.
Man, it's thing about joint practice, it's ups and downs. I think at first play of the practice, they did I'm sure that they just put that run in for me, where I never saw that play a day in my life, especially as a 3 technique. And, it's ups and downs. Yeah, that's a great thing about joint practice. We got a whole nother day tomorrow. The standards are very high. Everybody knows the standard on the defensive side. But, it was a lot of good, too. It just wasn't, we could always look at the bad plays, but, it's always good to come out of practice, too. So I think at the end of the day, when, we get in and watch tape, we got a whole nother day to come back tomorrow.
Jeff Jarvis talked about a slow start, and I guess you guys had that last week. Is there something that you, as one of the leaders, can you do something to make, not have a slow start like today?
TD, I think everybody just got to come out with a mindset. And I said it this morning, we could come out and hoorah, we could come out and yell, this and that. We grown men. It's a professional football. God's got to come out ready. We knew they was going to come out prepared and ready to practice men's practice. In the game, we started out slow. We saw it last season. We're down 28-0. So at the end of the day, we keep saying we starting slow. We started slow in Tampa, started slow in Atlanta. It's time to start fast. At the end of the day, it's a lot of things that we keep saying this year, which I keep hating to go back to last year. We kept saying the same thing last year. So I think at the end of the day, we've been saying it forever. It's one thing we kept saying last year. Say, let's do more. Come out here and do it.
So I like that.
Okay.
That was totally different of reference. Hearing him live, no doubt. That was he presented perfectly. That was big.
A lot of we.
Big Jeff.
A lot of we.
Yeah.
And sometimes I felt like we get a little bit of y'all, but this one's a lot of we.
Right. Which means reference not me. But he said they put a run play in or something to be that was specific for him.
I guess it was a run play specific for him that he's never seen at the 3 tech position, which I don't know. This is the first time hearing of that part. I've only heard the latter part of a couple different clips. So I haven't heard that part. So, I don't know what kind of run play that he has never seen before at the 3 tech position from any team, because he's saying even playing at college he's never seen it. So I don't know.
Could have been one where they don't block him and they pull somebody and he gets ear hold.
Ooh, man, that would suck.
It's kind of like a wham block.
Yeah.
They call it because he's so quick and so massive, getting up the field and causing havoc, and then he's like, what, and then boom.
Because they
use that against them to get him.
Because the beat writers for Atlanta,
what did they say? I don't know.
They were saying that Jeffrey Simmons was a problem all dang day.
Yeah, he's
so maybe to your point, that aggressiveness and being that problem, maybe they got him on one.
On a run play. That can happen. Easy, but that's not because he's not a good player.
No.
Jeff has actually looked the best I've ever seen him. And I said this at the beginning of the camp. I was like, hey, man, if he stays healthy, he wanted to get 10 sacks. Boy, I'd be dang if he's going to try his best to get that and be just as disruptive in the run game. And then to hear him talk like that, he's at a spot now. I think he's really comfortable. It's all over trying to prove something. Now I'm about to just wreck shop.
Yeah.
I'll be stunned. If he's healthy, that he doesn't do it on a continuous basis every game.
I want to tie this in with also because they reference what Jarvis Brownlee Jr. said about slow starts, and here's what Jarvis Brownlee Jr. on the Titans slow starts, and if it has to do with the long road trip.
No, being on the road, that ain't got nothing to do with that. It's a mindset thing. It's all about how you approach the day. It all starts off how you wake up in the morning. Feel me? And we just got to be more productive and bring more energy. And like I said, it starts with the leaders in the room. And we got to come out here and bring that energy and have that momentum. And I look forward to doing that tomorrow.
What can you personally do to kind of give that spark that you're talking about?
Set the tone, come out first day, hit somebody, get a PBU. It's all how you approach the guys. And really, that's it. Play my game, really, for real. And just talk that talk. When I do that, man, it bring the guys up, it bring energy in the room.
I mean, Jarvis Brownlee Jr. Last year, I believe he was the one that said it was a little hot or whatever. So it seems like he's kind of like learned from that mistake. What game was that he said they were all hot or something? He blamed it on the temperature or something. And now this time he's blaming it on himself. He's having that self. What do you got, Jackson?
It was the Commanders game.
The Commanders game. But now,
That's
yeah.
that was horrible.
I was like, but now he's a little bit more media savvy, but he's also a little bit more, he even references it to himself as a leader. And I do think that he's maybe more comfortable in his role on this team. And he says it starts with them as the players and the leaders. So both of these guys are recognizing the slow start, but they also are saying, I believe, the right things to not throw anybody under the bus, no matter what they may truly believe. But I think at the end of the day, these guys are both competitors. And you were talking how, as a competitor, you control your, environment yourself. That I think these guys realize they got to come out as players with a lot more energy and all that kind of stuff. And maybe the we can also mean the entire team, like you're talking about, from the staff to the players, to the equipment manager, all those guys coming out with a little bit more energy to start the day.
Yeah. Well, I'm not going to say energy. I know that's kind of like the easy word.
Fast start.
Well, no, it's for me, it's about focus, mindset. That doesn't mean you have to have energy and be jumping around and acting like a fool. Like, it's just about, hey, I'm going to go out here being a safety. I'm going to go F some people up today. This is just when we put on a different uniform and I go clack, clack. Clack, clack means I'm about to get after it. And do they have enough of them people to do that, to get the ball rolling? That's the key. They interview 2 defensive players. Why ain't we heard no interview about the offense?
Well, that's an entirely different discussion, because we didn't hear from Chig because they have this is an entirely different discussion, Blake, but in Atlanta, they have a 90-second.
I saw the 90 second. That had nothing to do with the interview.
Yes, it does, actually.
What? We can only interview 2 people?
They interviewed Chig, but they didn't get any videos of Chig because they were saving their videos and audio for Jeffrey Simmons, because that extended out to the media scrums.
Oh,
like, Buck did not film any part of practice because Buck waited for the media scrums to use his 90 seconds.
No, I got you, but
Yeah.
I mean, doing quick interviews after practice?
Yeah, but if you use all your time during the practice, it's 90 seconds total.
Videos.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's
That's
videos.
interviews and videos and interviews are within the same?
Follow me here.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Okay.
It's within the same. Yes or no?
Yes. Oh, so what I'm saying is that they were able to interview Chig. They weren't able to use audio and video for Chig. So we heard from Chig, and some of them did use it on Lloyd Cushenberry, others didn't. But we heard from Chig, but we didn't hear, and he was the first one to get the ball rolling on the slow starts. He was the first one out of the gate that said it. But, like, we didn't get to hear from Chig. We got to read from Chig because of these crazy rules that the Atlanta Falcons have.
Oh, my. Well, guess what's going to come to Nashville? That 90-second rule. And I blame Jackson.
I have heard rumors.
I blame you.
And here's
You
what I'm
and
going to
Ross.
say. If that 90-second rule comes here to Nashville, the fans should start a change.org petition to get that thing changed and revoked. Because if that 90-second rule comes...
So this is a rule that every team can implement.
It can implement. This is a Falcons rule, apparently.
Well, no. I said every NFL team can do it.
They could do it. That's what I'm saying. They just don't do it.
Oh, well, it's coming. It may not, the Titans may wait a while, but it's coming. It's coming.
That would be that's terrible for us on radio who need audio.
No doubt.
But to your point, they used all of it. They used their allotted time on the defenders. They told us what the one offensive player said about the slow start. But to your point, the leaders are kind of more defensive skewed outside of maybe Cam Ward and your offensive linemen. But not all leadership has to be the rah-rah vocal, like you were saying. It can be focused and driven. I am interested to see what the bounce back looks like, but I would like to quit having to talk about the bounce back at some point. They bounced back. I would like to see that, hey, they handled their business for 2 days straight. You get what I'm saying? A little bit consistency. All goes back to that word.
I just think with a young team, I just think we're going to continue this roller coaster ride, and then it's all going to ride on Cam Ward, who is learning at the same time as far as his play, and he's going to be on a roller coaster ride. He's going to get hot for some moments, and then there's going to be times it's going to be tough. So I think that's really the team. And it's because it's a young, growing team, man. I just don't expect that we're going to feel that. But, man, I one thing that players can't control is the way you go out there in your mindset. Doesn't mean you don't get toasted. Doesn't mean you don't drop the ball. Doesn't mean you don't throw an interception. But dang, man, how are you responding after that? Like, what's going on? And I know Cam Ward body language. I haven't seen him change his body language one iota. 3 interceptions to no interceptions. He's the same cat. So I'm interested to see why that happened on offense as well. Like, why didn't he elevate? This is the time you want to see all of that leadership that he's got in him that everybody talks about. I want to see him elevate the offense.
Yeah.
And I ain't hearing that. I'm hearing that did not happen.
Yeah, so
the defense didn't play well either. So I hate going off of what people say, because that's just total against me, because people lie or manipulate the story or change the story.
Or they don't notice every moment in practice. It's hard to do every moment across practice.
When I say lie, I mean you're trying to put out this version of what you want it to be,
what you want
to get out.
Yeah, it's what you want your articles to be, or this or that.
So I just but hey, we didn't hear anything about the offensive line.
No. But I did say, listen, so it's fun. Just real quick, so it's funny because there's a video of the defensive line out there, but in the very far back, the offense, so it's the Titans defensive line versus the Falcons offensive line.
One-on-ones.
On the other field behind them is the one-on-ones for the Falcons defensive line versus the Titans O-line. And you can see... I can't remember what the play was in front of you, but if you look in the back, you see Dan Moore just getting brutalized in the far back. I mean, it's a clear shot.
If it's one-on-ones, there's no play. Or it was 9-on-7 or something?
It was one-on-one. So it was one-on-ones on each side, but they split up the one-on-ones on two different fields.
There's no play. You said there was a play. I mean,
he got brutalized. I don't know what the one-on-one rep was. Who won that one-on-one rep that was in front of you, but you could see Dan Moore behind you just getting brutalized.
How'd my man Pierce do? I heard he didn't do so well. I don't know if that's true or not.
Obviously, we didn't see any video of James Pierce. But
what are you hearing?
It didn't look good from the tweets that I perused.
It did?
Did not.
Oh, dang.
All right, when we come back, we'll continue our discussion because there's other things that happen at camp that we need to get to. This is Cover 2 with Blaine Bishop and Zach Lyons here on 105 The Zone. Cover 2 with Blaine Bishop and Zach Lyons here on 104.5 The Zone, powered by all 4 Seasons Garage Doors. 615-737-1045 is the number.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I got a question.
Okay.
Yeah, I got to answer my question. This is from Jason. So what happens if you go over the 90-second rule on video and are interviewing? Jax, I don't know if you know or not, and I thought it was a team rule, not a league rule is what their question is. And or will
Like,
they
do you
will they
get
take
put
their
time out
phone
or something?
Will they take your phone?
Yeah.
Or will they make you delete it?
I think Jackson has the answer.
I assume spankings.
He said, "What? You get a spanking?"
You get a spanking.
Well,
Matt Murphy's rubbing off on you over there. That sounds like something
man.
he'd say on Super Talk.
there you have it. From the one and
Paddle.
only
Paddle to butt.
one and only Grand Poobah.
It's just one of the PR guys has like a reporter over his knee.
I don't
I'm
know.
sorry.
man.
He's saying that this is going to hurt me more than it's going to hurt you.
Yeah. He knocks the phone out your hand or something.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
I really don't know, because I was also like, because Easton was talking to me about it. I said, well, just
man.
give your phone or get a fan to pay fan a little bit of money and let them record it and then just send it to you.
Oh.
That would be my workaround. Always look for a workaround. Always look for a workaround.
But it's still posted on yours, and you're a media vet. Media
Maybe I
vet.
can create a burner or something. Titans media clips or something. Secret.
Titans media clipped out of context.
Yeah, there you go. I just don't know what the punish. I guess maybe they take your badge. You're probably suspended for the next time or something.
Well,
I don't know. Like Buck Bear, watch out. His clip was 97 seconds. So that 7 seconds could change everything.
Hey, who are you now? You just squealed on him in front of
I don't
millions of people that listen to our show. You just leg whipped him.
Now he's going to get a spanking.
Man. Oh, man. Hey, watch this. Some people may be happy about that. Oh, man. That's why I don't video or anything. I can't. I don't know all the rules, and I'm just like, man, I just might as well just not do it. Just at all. There's no way, no how, man.
It's actually a lot harder than people think.
Yes,
like
it is.
covering these practices, I've learned that this year, actually going out there to cover practices. It's the stuff I've complained about. I'm like, okay, I kind of understand your side of things.
It's
a little bit more difficult than what people think. People are like, oh, I could do it. I don't know about that. It's a little difficult.
I don't know if they can get that spanking they may get.
Yeah, that's true.
Mm-hmm.
So we were talking during the break and obviously before the break, and Chika Okonkwo said they started slow last week. They started slow this week. Got to quit starting slow. And you asked when Atlanta Falcons played their preseason game, and it was Friday versus the Titans on Saturday. So they only got an extra day of rest, technically. And that reminded me of something that Jeff Ulbrich, the defensive coordinator for the Atlanta Falcons, said in his press conference after practice. Because we're talking about mindset. We're talking about focus. And Ulbrich said this to reporters: it's important to have wrong one. Ulbrich says there were more powerful lessons to be learned from the Lions game, that the team needs to be better at resetting and not relaxing. All that matters is the next play. And it makes me wonder, and this is a team that lost their game too. Mm-hmm. Now, it was close on the box score, but not really close on the effort on the field and all that kind of stuff. Effort may have been a bad word, but
29-7?
It was 10-17.
Oh.
But, I mean, it wasn't a particularly close 10-17, if you get what I'm saying. Because, I mean, you got to remember Hendon Hooker had 2 fumbles and all that kind of stuff revolved in that. Oh. But, I mean, it was one of those, the score looks a lot closer than what the play on the field said. Mm-hmm. And obviously that was the lesson that Jeff Ulbrich took. And I wonder, though, you're talking about a butt whipping from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers on the Tennessee Titans. And after Cam Ward and them left, after the starters left, it wasn't particularly close on the field, and the score reflected that. So I do wonder, going back to the question at the top, what was the messaging this week from Brian Callahan? We didn't get to hear from Brian Callahan today. Brian Callahan will have a press conference tomorrow morning at 8:40 Central Standard Time. But I do wonder, what was the messaging? Because obviously Ulbrich had a message, powerful lessons, you can't relax. You got to be better at resetting. But also, a lot of that, again, I do lean onto the players because, more to your point, you gotta be responsible for your own environment and how you approach the game. It's like Jarvis Brownlee Jr. He said, I mean, he put it on him. He said the road trip is not an excuse. And Jeffrey Simmons put it on the players. But I do kind of wonder, like, what was the messaging? Was it like, hey, we made some mistakes and we're fine? Or was there, a little bit more fire, a little bit more of that Sunday Brian Callahan after practice kind of discussion? I just wonder. I don't know.
I have no idea what the messaging was.
Yeah.
But everybody's involved. And if you're a player, you have to say it's on the players. I mean, you can't be up here trying to call out some coaches. Hey, it's all of us, the coaches included. That's just never going to happen like that. Maybe unless you're like Jeffrey Simmons or somebody or the quarterback. I just think, well, when you get on that field, man, I'm going to just give it the term, make it easy. You got to have some dogs. At the end of the day, when you go out there and you compete, the competitive nature of a professional athlete at any level of sports is kind of cancerous. And if you don't have those kind of guys on the team, it's like, you could go play checkers and you want to win just as bad as you want to win in a one-on-one matchup. It's just that way. And maybe they just don't have enough of those guys. These guys who compete, but then there's one way to compete, then there's another to be competitive and not stand for average and being the best you can be. So I just don't, and I don't know the mindset of all the guys on there. I'm sure they got some. Obviously, we just talked to two of them. I heard them.
Well, they were supposed to draft a bunch of them, right? I mean, that was the big thing was that.
All right, do you think Femi's a dog? I ain't talking about his play. I'm talking about, do you think he's a dog?
I think he is.
Okay.
I mean, I haven't heard a lot from Femi to really make a, 100% concrete determination.
I ain't say does he play hard.
Yeah.
I said, is he a dog? So here's why we don't even really know.
Yeah.
That's why I asked you that question.
I mean, I guess,
we don't know. Because when you get punched in the mouth and knocked on your you-know-what, then that'll tell you if he's a dog or not.
And
how he's going to get up and then says, you got me on this one, but I'm about to you-know-what you, man. And that's when you know you got a dog. Period.
Right. Yeah,
Watch this. Brownlee get beat.
I guarantee
you, Brownlee gets beat.
Yeah.
He gets beat for a touchdown. He's on the sideline mad based on saying, I dare y'all to throw that crap again.
Yeah.
I promise you that's his mindset. See, if you don't have those kind of people, you're not going to ever get over the hump.
Yeah.
And I'm just saying, it's one way to play.
I get what you're
nice
putting down
guy,
now.
And then he's educated, pick up the problem, he plays hard. But, dude, when you get punched in the mouth, watch this. When Mike Tyson finally got punched in the mouth, how did he respond?
Yeah.
Like, it was a little bit different when he got knocked down. Yeah, it was a little bit different. So that's what's missing from the Titans. Enough of them.
Yeah.
And sometimes that goes into...
Like James Williams, I bet, is that way.
I'm going to say something that people just don't want to hear. Sometimes that plays in it. You got to get an edgy guy that's rough around the edges. You got to get a couple of those guys.
Yep.
Sorry. Yeah. And you just got to have leadership now that can contain them. But you got to get those guys, because then everybody looking around like, hey, man, that guy's got nowhere near talent as that guy, and he out here playing like, woo. We had a guy like that, Josh Evans, who's no longer with us. This dude was a 6 feet D tackle. Oh, my gosh, I would have went to war with him with anybody. He was a fighter. He was not going to give. Like, so that's what I'm saying. Where are these people outside of Big Jeff and Brownlee and on offense? I'm sure they got some on the offensive line. You can't play. I think Latham is one. Yeah.
Skoronski,
I don't know much about Mark.
I don't know.
He is, but I don't know.
I don't know. Like,
I
and maybe that's the answer, right?
Some
yeah,
people,
he does.
But I want to when he gets pancake, he get knocked on his behind. What happened?
Yeah. Well, like I don't know if you saw the clip, but do you remember the North Carolina center Willie Lampkin, who was 5'11"?
No.
He was coming out. His name's Willie Lampkin. He's 5'11", and he's got like long wingspan. Long wingspan. He, at 5'11" as center, he was out there pancaking people 4 Dallas defenders in a preseason game, just taking them down, pancaking them.
Hey.
That's dog. And he showed that dog. And when he got knocked on his butt
like,
at the
"How is
Senior
he
Bowl,
doing
he
this?"
got up and wrestled someone to the ground.
Like, how is he doing this?
That's
what
his fight.
Right. He got a little internal fight that just is not going to be denied.
Maybe Casey Jones is onto something. Since we drafted all team captains love ball this year, we'll go all dogs next year.
Oh, I didn't say that. You try to mix and match it. You know, you got get a dog, get a good guy right over here, man. He can play, super duper athlete. You know, and you'll be amazed because sometimes a super duper athlete doesn't have and is equipped to be like that all in.
Yeah.
I'm a mess you up like that. Typically, that doesn't happen. There's always, different.
I kind of like there's not enough horses on this pass rush. There's not a lot of dogs on this team still. Yeah. What you got, Jackson?
Man, that shouldn't be happening. That's inconsistency, and that's what makes me lean into that more so than not. You can get punched in the mouth, but then you gotta respond immediately.
Yeah,
like you're playing a different color jersey. Like, this does not happen. Like the teams I was on, we might have gotten a fight.
Yeah.
Zach Lyons, big Willie Lampkin guy.
I love him. Well, Stoney was the biggest Willie Lampkin guy. I was just more of a Willie Lampkin coattail rider. But you're right, because like Femi doesn't answer the day of, he answers a day later. If he even answers at all. You get what I'm saying? When he has a bad day, he may have a good day the next. But look, go back to the Buccaneers game that we were just talking about all day yesterday. How he never got his get back from O'Keefe. Because I will say something. The way he got manhandled by O'Keefe, if that was me, you got one of those. Because I would be going, especially when you're his size. Like Femi Oladejo, the way that he's...
is decent size. I looked up his size. He's like 6'3", isn't he? What's it told? He's number 41, right?
O'Keefe, I'm going to look it up. O'Keefe is... Yeah, he's 6'5", 265.
Oh, 6'5", yeah.
But I mean, you gotta go. I'm taking it to him. When you look like Femi, I'm taking it to him. But he couldn't. He never really got his get back from O'Keefe. And kind of like Jarvis Brownlee Jr., like you're talking about with him, like when you come to the sidelines after you get burnt, you may get burnt again, but you pissed. Like you're gonna make him feel it.
Mm-hmm. Well, he pissed at the fans talking crap to him.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So you got to have some edgy guys. You're not gonna make it in this league without them. I'm sorry. Especially you got to have a couple on defense, a couple on offense. Typically it's more on our defense, just because of the nature of the game. But you got to have your linemen, offensive linemen, kind of more.
Because I kind of feel Calvin Ridley. It doesn't seem like it, but he's got some dog in him.
Oh yeah, for a wide receiver.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's different levels for each position.
Yeah.
There's
different ways the dog shows itself.
Yeah.
Different ways the dog bark, as they say. Let's go to William. He wants to talk about dogs. William, you're on with Blaine and Zach.
How y'all doing today?
Doing good. How are you?
Hey, me doing good.
I'm good. I just want to say, Blaine, you preaching today, Blaine. Hey, and I just want to say another thing. One of the dogs we're missing right now, I feel like, is Sneed. Once he can get back, he can be one of them people you're talking about. And like if you think in the past on all the good teams, they've always had someone like you're talking about, like Keith Bullock, all the players, Javon Curse. You can think of each generation. And I just want to tell y'all, man, y'all keep it up. Y'all have a blessed day.
Thank you.
Oh yeah, Sneed's definitely one. That's why when I heard him say that that's why I was like,
remind people who I am.
I was like, remember how I was like, what? Did y'all? This guy, and he is, man, I just hope he's healthy. If he could just get back to 90%.
He was out on one of the fields this week, or today, so it wasn't, he's maybe next week, hopefully, coming off, because I don't think he's coming off PUP this week.
He could have played in my time. He's just that dude like that. Like, man, once I saw him punk Sneed in the playoff, I mean, not Sneed, but Tyreek Hill.
Yeah.
And just like, the term is he just punked him.
Yeah.
Tyreek Hill didn't want no more of that.
No.
He didn't want that.
That's what I want more of, is like more, because I mean, I don't want to offend you, but reason I like some of those Ravens year defenses is because they were just like, they were all dogs, I mean, and not to say the Tennessee Titans or any other team wasn't, but that's what I like. No. I like the dogs.
No, but you like, let me make sure, crap talking dogs.
Well, some of them.
Yeah, right. That's the only difference between the Ravens because I'd put us up
Well, I'm not
against them.
saying that you guys weren't dogs or anything. I'm just saying,
but you referenced them who you didn't watch all the time, but you was it.
Oh, I watched the Ravens a lot. I watched the Tennessee Titans a lot. I just watch a lot of football.
Watch this. In the game they beat us,
Yeah.
how many yards did they give up to our offense? Do you know? Why don't you go look it up, Jackson? I promise you it's more than we gave up in that game.
I was just saying I know Titans fans don't like the Ravens.
I think ours
but I respect the Ravens.
I think we only gave up 120. I don't even know what our offense did against them. I'm just making a guess that they got more than 120. So who's better than who?
I didn't say better.
I didn't say you did.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
I know who was better.
What I'm quantifying is who had the real dogs.
Oh, I didn't say you guys
just
weren't
the ones
dogs.
that do the barking. See, I like playing guys like you because, see, you were the guy that was doing all that talking in the game. And guess what? I'm going to bust you in the mouth and I'm going to shut you up and you're going to say, ooh, maybe I talked a little too much. Yeah, that's I love playing dudes like you. Like, oh, man, you just fueled it just to a whole nother level, man. You're going to walk out this game like, ooh, that dude, man.
I'm going to be in the ice tub, huh? After practice.
That dude,
or after
ain't
the
no
game.
practice
After the game.
Man, it's like, hey, man. Yeah, I love those crap talkers. There was no way they were going to do that to us. Not the offense. You know, their offense was talking crap.
Yeah. 3-1 yardage
they
in
know
that
what
game,
they
I
was
believe.
going against.
I believe it's 3-1.
They
in
knew
yards.
3-1.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's 3-1? What was the number?
It was 317 to 134 total yards.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So that tells you who was better. But guess what? The Ravens did all that yapping. But when we got in there, but guess what? It's determined on the field. See, that's where all that talking don't mean nothing. When you in sports, okay, all right, you said that. I had to make sure not only myself, but all the players on defense, do not talk crap about them. When we get out there, we're going to show them who is the real number one defense.
Do you think anybody in the Tennessee Titans now does that?
No. I'm not in the locker room. But there's a lot of dudes that play with me. I can tell you. Keith Bullock, one of them. He was on the team. We played together for 3 years.
All right. When we come back, we'll continue talking the Tennessee Titans. This is cover
Jackson
2
always has
with
this
Blaine Bishop and
dumbfounded
Zach
look on
Lyons
his
here on
face,
105 The Zone. Cover 2 with Blaine Bishop and Zach Lyons here on 105 The Zone, powered by All Four Seasons Garage Door. 615-737-1045 is the number. We're talking dogs on today's show. Let's go to JR and let's talk about some dogs. JR, you're on with Blaine and Zach.
Thanks, guys. Let me first say that I only watched half of the ball game, the first half, and what I came to the conclusion, I don't think it's our offensive line or defensive line or backers. I think it's our secondary. My wife knows zero about football, and she says, what improvement has the secondary done on the team? And Blaine, I remember watching you, young man, against the Jets one year, and this dude beat you on a pass, and it pissed you off beyond belief. I couldn't imagine being inside your helmet. And then the next play came out. You came out, and you intentionally knocked him on his butt, knowing that you're going to get a penalty. You did, but I tell you what, he never got open the rest of the game. We don't have a secondary that is a change. We can talk about rebuild until we're blue in the face, but until we get a secondary and that wants to be PO'd every time they walk out on that field, we're going to be the same 3-14 or 4-12 or whatever it will be. I'm just upset about us talking, trying to blame everybody else, but we don't say anything about, not you guys, but the team doesn't say anything about how our backfield sucks. Thanks, guys. Have a blessed day.
That was a lot to unpack there. I mean, what are your thoughts?
Well, I mean, we talked about it. I mean, that was one of the poll questions yesterday, getting another corner, especially with Snead and I've been out there. So, obviously, I don't think nobody's intimidated by the safeties to a certain extent. I think Hooker's a good player, but, it's a different era, too, as far as, you can't freelance and kind of hit people like that. But, yeah, I think they're hurting there, but they're hurting in pass rush. It's once again, this is a team that wasn't very good, and they have a lot of holes. I think everybody in the organization understands that they have to be somewhat patient, but you're hoping for more. But, man, the expectations still are you're going to be judged for the wins and losses. That's unfortunate because they're just not there. Then you're growing with a new quarterback who you think potentially can be a franchise changer. So how long does that work, and how quickly can you fix the pieces and holes you have besides having that mindset and culture that you want when you go play? So that means you got to have, more than two guys on each side of the ball. Usually you got to have some guys like that at each position group. Doesn't have to be the best player. Doesn't have to sometimes even be the starter. It could be that guy in the locker room is just kind of that dude. I mean, I always bring up like Lorenzo Neal. He was kind of the funny guy, but he also was the mindset guy. Give you an example. He came in against the Ravens, by the way, but this was not a playoff game. He says, I am going to annihilate Ray Lewis. He said, I'm going to get him. Just watch me every time I'm on the field. Every time that I got to block him, I'm going to get him. And every time I ask him about it, he tries to downplay it now. But he rolled him like a rug. Yeah, just like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because guess what? He backed up all that talk he said he was going to do. He ain't say nothing about that publicly.
Yeah.
But when we get in between he got in his stance like a pit bull. His butt was almost on the ground. He start barking on the field. We were like, what the heck is going on? What is wrong with this dude? He turned into a whole different person. So at halftime, I was like, hey, man, what was you drinking in that? What was you drinking? He said, oh, in my combination, when we give you some. I said, I don't know about that. I don't know what was in there. He said, I can give you some. I said, yeah, give me some. I thought I was going to have a heart attack. My heart was just beating so fast. I didn't know what he put in there. I had no idea. I was like, hey, I can't do that, man. Yeah, he went out there and destroyed them. Anybody got in the way. Yeah, it's just you got to have some guys like that.
I tell you, I was just thinking about Kevin Winston Do you think that seems like a guy that may have that in him? We haven't seen enough to really determine, but I think with the way I've seen him fly around at practice, I think there's some dog in him.
Oh, there's no doubt there's a dog in him.
Yeah.
I just don't like to put a lot on a first-year player who hasn't even practiced, a full 2 weeks yet. But I think he is a guy. He's a culture changer. I've said that before. I think this guy's going to be really good. And I'm hoping he is. And they're protecting him because they know what level he can be and why I tried to stunt that over a 2 week of practicing where, hey, we just got to slow this down and got to have some hiccups here or there as far as I don't know what's going on with his injury or whatever.
Well, it sounds like what I was able to piece together over the weekend, because there was like all kinds of reports flying out of that
I have no
whole
idea.
situation. And from what I've been able to piece together, it sounds like a strain, and they're just being way overly cautious because they got 5 days of padded
Strain of
practice.
what?
A strain around his knee, around that ACL knee, and apparently you can play through it, but playing through it can actually have long-term effects. And so they're trying to avoid the long-term effects of maybe like tendinitis or something in the knee. So they're trying to take it easy because I think that's a smart way to do it. Because he's
the future, but I mean it's his safety.
Yeah, you got to do it. You got to play it like that. But that's a guy that I feel like has a potential. I mean, he has the dog in him, and as long as he can stay healthy, has potential to be one of those guys on the field for you.
Yeah, I would presume so.
Yeah,
especially where he was bringing the hammer. It's like when he touched somebody, the ball always came out.
Yeah, right.
He bringing some wood.
Yeah,
he bringing some wood.
Him, I could see that with LeJarris Sneed, like we already talked about. I think Jarvis Brownlee Jr., Jeffrey Simmons. Everybody else, James Williams, I would say, has some of that in him.
He's got some dog.
Yeah,
no
I think
doubt.
Barton.
Yeah. Jeff.
Yep.
So, see, we're naming all these defensive guys. Offensive linemen, we know who are those guys, but are they speaking up?
Yeah.
Like, there's one thing to have them, but then there's also, hey, man, whatever your style is, you got to, hey, man, we got to turn this thing up. We got to ratchet this thing up now.
Like, if you're Latham, for instance, kind of a similar story to like the Lorenzo Neal story would go a long way, but we don't know if he's saying that or not. But if he's going out there and saying, let's say James Pierce is lined up against him in this practice for whatever reason, he's like, I'm going to put James Pierce in the dirt every time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's the kind of thing you're talking about. It's not, again, does not have to be public. And again, we don't know if he is saying stuff like that. But that's what you need in this locker room. And right now, it doesn't feel like, on the outside looking in, that there's a lot of those, enough of those.
Right. Well, and it could be more speaking than individual, and they're just not there yet.
Yeah.
To feel comfortable enough to start saying, hey, man, we got to turn this up. Being that you got to understand who you are and how good you are.
Yeah.
Because I think Latham is. I think he's the perfect guy in my mind. And just like, hey, man, we got to turn this up. We can't have that. What happened on that play? Even if it's one-on-ones, have a conversation with whoever it is, like, hey, man, we got to play better, man. This is not good enough. When you jogging over, you getting water.
Yeah.
Hey, man, we all here right here together. We a family right here. Our line group. Our group.
Well, think about every stop along his way to the Tennessee Titans, IMG and Alabama. He's been exposed to a lot of that kind of talk, a lot of that kind of work and stuff like that. So he should be the perfect guy on the offense to do that.
Yeah, on the offensive line.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. They got to get to the point where they'll have a person at every position group who kind of leads. And that takes time. It's just, we just going to want to see it sooner than later. Like, we can't keep having this roller coaster. Like, at some point, guys got to start saying, hey, man, enough is enough. Like, when you going to get to that point?
Yeah. You would have thought that, because I know there's a lot of new faces, but you would have thought more points would have been hit that way last year.
Yeah.
And they didn't. And now we're kind of seeing this inconsistency rear its head. And I just kind of wonder, like, is it, and I don't know, it's a rebuilding year. We always have to go back to that. It's a rebuilding year. But if you're talking about it in a rebuilding year, they have said they want to be competitive in games. To be competitive in games, you have to be consistent. And if you're not consistent, then you're not going to be competitive in some of these games. And you have to be consistent. Consistency seems like the biggest word we keep coming back to for this Tennessee Titans team so far this offseason, even dating back to last year, is that there's just no consistency from unit to unit, first string to second string to third string to fourth string. There's no consistency from practice to practice to practice. Now, preseason game, we'll see if there's any kind of consistency from the first team offense, because if the first team offense comes out and doesn't look good, then we have a consistency issue from at least now game to game that is leaked from practice to game. Because you play like you practice, right? Is that a correct statement in your mind?
Well, I think most of the times, at least I lead going into it with the confidence. Like, first of all, okay, just let's talk about talent. Okay, let's go on the offensive side of the ball. The offensive side, I would say, has more talent than the defense to be successful in this league. Now, do you want another receiver to step up? I think hopefully you're assuming that, at least I am, that the offensive line will come together and at least be middle of the road, solid offensive line, like pass protecting, run blocking. You hope it. And then you're hoping that Cam Moore gets up to speed sooner than later. And then you go, okay, well, where are the holes? Then you say, okay, you got Lockett, a veteran guy. So you got Calvin Ridley, who's a special talent. And you say, okay, who's going to be the other guy to balance this out, to help them be a solid, good football offensive team? That's kind of when you know what Pollard is in this league.
Yeah.
He just got to stay healthy. And he did most of the 1,000-yard rusher. So some people say, oh, that's easy. Well, it's not as easy as you think. As Spears. You got to stay healthy, man.
Yeah.
He's just as capable as Pollard. He just can't stay healthy. So, so then I lean into the offense to carry the team. But that's not going to be what happens, because you have a running game with a young quarterback. You got to use the running game, and your defense has to be somewhat better than average. Let's just say that. And I don't know if they're that.
I don't think so.
I don't know if they are.
We'll talk more about this when we come back. This is Cover 2 with Blaine Bishop and Zach Lyons here at 105 The Zone.
There are a lot of diagnoses out there, but not all diagnoses are accurate. Hey, it's Blaine Bishop. When you get a diagnosis for a European auto repair, you get a second opinion before you make a major decision. So before you spend hundreds or even thousands of dollars on European vehicle repair for a quote, diagnosis for anything, you need to go to Eurofix. It could not only save your vehicle's life, but could actually save you from a lot of stress that could ruin your freaking weekend. So be happy and go to Eurofix. And at Eurofix, you get a free 15-minute no-rinse inspection with an estimate at every visit, and not high-pressure sales tactics. You also get a 3-year nationwide warranty on work we perform and a rental car available with every repair appointment. And at Eurofix, you also never have to pay dealer pricing. Family-owned for over a quarter of a century. Located in Franklin, Hundred Oaks, Murfreesboro, Belmead, and now Mount Juliet. And all you have to do is just give them a call at 844-EUROFIX. That's right, 844-EUROFIX, or visit me online at myEurofix.com. That's myEurofix.com. And I was telling Blaine, said you.
Cover 2 with Blaine Bishop and Zach Lyons here on 104.5 The Zone, powered by All Four Seasons Garage Doors. 615-737-1045 is the number. And
Simeon's here to save us.
Trevor Siemian, you're right, we haven't still really talked about it. So that's what we're going to talk about. The Tennessee Titans waived Tim Boyle yesterday as soon as we went off the air.
Yeah, 302.
And where I said I'm very surprised that he's still on this team. As soon as we went off the air, they waived Tim Boyle.
Did he wave back?
I don't know if he waved back. And then they signed
Boyle.
Trevor Siemian. And then today, can you go and tell us who the linebackers? I know you got it written down that they signed. One of them was Blake Lynch. And
Blake Lynch and let me find
Khaleke Hudson, right?
Khaleke Hudson, yes.
Khaleke Hudson are both linebackers, and they waived the injured Anthony Orji. They also waived undrafted free agent rookie linebacker out of Texas, David Benda.
Yeah, Orji tore his ACL.
Yeah, Orji, they waived him with an injury designation.
I actually thought he was going to make the team.
He had a good chance to. I mean, I'm
he
with
was
you.
back into the roster, but I mean,
Yeah.
I thought he was going to make the team.
But Tim Boyle out of here. Trevor Siemian comes in, and by all accounts, Trevor Siemian had a really good practice today. Again, it's against the threes, and he's a very, very experienced veteran. But he's a very, very experienced veteran in a good way where he gets the ball. His timing with James Prochet already was apparent, and that's something that Trevor Siemian is a little bit, probably has the edge on, maybe even a Brandon Allen, is that his timing is just apparently off the charts. But James Prochet, him, had an instant connection today. And again, James Prochet talk about stacking good days. James Prochet is one of the few players that you can almost consistently say is stacking good days.
That means the Titans won't keep him.
Don't say that.
They put him out there in preseason and he still gets the return and targets. Man, the guy, I think he's back in the roster. I think he's on the team, man. He should make the team, but I don't know. I mean, I don't know how they view him. Obviously, they don't view it very well. I mean, he wasn't out there in any significant time, which is, I can't even believe that.
I'm leaning towards the Titans keeping 7 receivers and him being one of them. Him being the 7th.
The 7th? I don't know. What do you think about the Xanders guy? Because I know he was...
he was in a boot.
Today.
He was in a boot after practice today.
He was in the boot
Landers?
after or before practice?
Before practice.
Before practice.
Yeah, man. I don't know, man.
It sucks. I hate that for Matt Landers. I hate that.
Xanders.
I mean, now we're going to probably maybe see a little bit more of a competent offense in the later parts of the preseason game when Trevor Siemian actually goes in. I mean, that Tim Boyle whole thing was just, it was just bad. I don't think I've ever seen a preseason quarterback performance as bad as that.
What was his passer rating?
0.6.
Right. Now, what's Allen?
Allen was like 30-something, if I'm not mistaken, 30.6.
He was just 30% better, but only 30.
But only 30.
No.
Give me 1 second. I can pull that up. But he was, like I said, he was the, as far as passer rating goes, out of 90 quarterbacks, he was 11th, at an 11th lowest. So he was with a 30.6. He was tied with Clayton Tune of the Arizona Cardinals at 30.6.
Oh, Tune. Is that the guy that went to Utah? Where did he go?
University of Houston, if I'm not mistaken.
Houston, yes, you're right.
Houston.
Yep, I knew it was a red team, yeah.
Like Quinn Ewers and Hendon Hooker both had better passer ratings than Brandon Allen. And I don't know if you saw Quinn Ewers play, but it was not good.
I didn't see that yet.
But it was not good. But
Jackson probably saw Hooker.
I saw Quinn Ewers. He just looked like he was new to playing the position.
Quinn Ewers was 10 of 16, 56 yards, and 1 interception. And he had a higher passer rating than Brandon Allen.
It looked like throwing a football was a foreign concept to him. It just looked like he was a little confused while he was doing it. It was weird.
Are you serious?
Yes, because I watched Quinn Ewers play a lot in college, and so I just was flipping, and I saw the Dolphins game, and I sat there and watched it for a few minutes. He looked confused back there.
Oh my God.
And he still was better than Brandon Allen.
But what did Coach Callahan, I know you got it. I know this is off the cuff. What did he say about the quarterbacks after the game about when Boyle got in there and then Brandon Allen played good, but he just had an unfortunate tip ball? What did he say? Do we have it?
I'm looking for it.
Oh, okay. I thought he speaks highly of everyone. He did not say anything bad about Tim Boyle.
He said they put Tim Boyle in a bad spot playing.
That's what I'm saying.
Like he was asking him to play football.
Your actions tell you how bad a spot that was.
Yeah.
Bye.
Yeah. Asking him to play football, maybe.
Asking him to
That's the bad spot.
play against other bottom of the roster.
Yeah. And then Brandon Allen, I think he looked kind of like we saw a lot of good things for Brandon Allen. But listen, if you watched the game, which I wouldn't blame people if they kind of tuned out after Cam Ward left. If you watched the game, you remember how I talked about how at the Senior Bowl, it took Dylan Gabriel using his whole body to throw it any kind of distance? Like he had to use his whole body in the windup. Like you just see the slow progression.
No, you got to do the other arm.
You get the what?
Other arm.
Oh, the other arm because he's
left-handed.
left-handed. It probably looks a lot like it. Brandon Allen was that. And I noticed it at training camp. You've talked about it too. But if he had to throw it past 5 yards over the weekend, Brandon Allen, it took everything he could muster to get it over that 5-yard mark.
I'm not going to go that far, but hey, man, I'm trying to figure out what he's got on Callahan.
It's a toxic relationship. There's gonna Brinker and Borgonzi.
They like him.
Brinker and Borgonzi need to have an intervention.
Check the Venmos.
Check the Venmos like a Mateer. John Mateer. Have you heard that story? John Mateer, the Oklahoma quarterback, is I guess had his Venmo puts out how much you send people and why you send it. Which is so stupid.
You send somebody a payment and you can add a message.
Like you
to
split
it.
pizza. Here's $5 for pizza, and you put it on Venmo.
And this guy,
my wife do that because I'm afraid somebody's going to hack my Venmo.
Go ahead, Jax. I'll let you tell the story.
Apparently, as a joke to his friends, he would send them. When he sent them a Venmo, he would tag it something like "sports gambling, Ohio State versus Texas" or something like that. So he's in a little bit of hot water.
So now because this is while he was at the in 2022 a redshirt freshman. It makes his Venmo transactions, whether it's a joke or not, remains to be seen. Make it look like he's been gambling on college football.
Oh, all right. He's a little bit of a prankster. I guess.
Maybe I don't know. Here's my thing. I don't understand. I make every Venmo transaction I have private. I don't understand people. I don't need to see.
You have to hit a setting to make it public.
Yeah. I don't understand why people want other people to know what they're spending money on. We don't care. We do not care.
Maybe some people care about what he's spending on.
Well, they do now, right now.
You know what I care about?
What?
Always, you need a good second string quarterback. Some people say that you don't need a good quarterback.
I know.
Who cares?
I don't get it.
But you always need a good second string quarterback. So just let's say, imagine this real quick. I know we got to go to break. The Titans are in playoff contention. And we down to the last 2 weeks of the season, Jackson. And the Titans call you. No.
We're screwed.
We got to depend on Brandon Allen to win 2 games to get into the freaking playoffs.
It's like when you had to
That's why you need a backup quarterback.
It's like when you relied on Blaine Gabbert to get you in the playoffs when Marcus in that
and
Code
I just
Blue
knew
game.
because his name was Blaine, he would be able to do it, and he didn't.
He didn't have that dog in him like you, Blaine.
Blaine was a softie. Golly, he had every opportunity. It destroyed his career. It could have turned it into something great.
Never know.
He wasn't ready for the moment.
It's like the Rams a few years ago when Stafford went down and they had to go turn to Baker Mayfield, and Baker Mayfield lit up on Thursday Night Football. Lit. I can't remember who they were playing, but lit them up. Good backups matter, and look how it changed his career back. It got it
Some
back on
people
track.
say that it doesn't matter.
I know.
It doesn't matter.
Those people are idiots. All right, when we come back, this is Cover 2 with Blaine Bishop and Zach Lyons. We'll be joined by Coach Mack. This is 102.5 or 104.5 The Zone. I got this all 22 up.
Hey, this is Blaine Bishop, and guys, we spend so much time focusing on external wins like job, fitness, success, but what about your internal performance? Your sexual health is just as important. In Edge Peptide Therapy, they go beyond Band-Aids and blue pills. Their treatments are designed to fix what's actually causing issues, whether it's low T, poor circulation, or stress. And listen, this isn't just for men with ED. So if you're doing fine but want more stamina, more desire, more intensity, Edge can help you level up. Real medicine, real results. So get back to feeling like the alpha version you are and go to edgepeptide.com. Yes, that's edgepeptide.com and see what they can do for you. Edgepeptide.com.
Cover 2 with Blaine Bishop and Zach Lyons here on 104.5 The Zone, powered by All Four Seasons Garage Door. You know what that sound means? That music means it must be Tuesday at 2:20 p.m. That means it's time for Coach Mack for his weekly Mack Attack, brought to you by Tours Ford, South's most trusted Ford dealer. And Coach Mack, Tennessee Titans had a preseason game on Saturday. Had to remember what day it was. I'm so used to saying Sunday. I had a preseason game on Saturday. What did you think about the overall operation of the first string offense?
No, it was okay for the second. The first series was 3 and out, so that wasn't great. And I think the quarterback on that third down, they were in what we call a triple 9-ball stack, and they got jammed up at the point on the 9-ball stack with their release. But I think he still had a chance to hang in the pocket a little bit. Anyway, threw it away. And then the second series, they moved down the field and got a touchdown. This is a work in progress. You only got 2 series. Of course, the fact that the 2 series was only 10 plays, that's your fault for going 3 and out, on the first one. But it's going to be a process with this offense and really with this football team. So, it was good, and then it was the second half, especially the fourth quarter. I thought that they really did not do a good job at all on defense, stopping the run, and they turned the ball over on offense, and so there were a lot of points scored against that third and fourth unit in the second half, which that's what happened.
When you're talking about this offensive line, it provided Cam a lot of pockets. Now, granted, they weren't going up against the first string defense for Tampa Bay, but they're still going up against some pretty good pass rushers in Chris Braswell and Anthony Nelson, who were pretty good last year. They're no slouches in the NFL. What can you really take away from that offensive line performance from the Saturday preseason game?
Well, all you can do is just practice our play or practices to guys that are out there against you, and it's going to be a give and take. It always is. They had 3 of their 5 offensive starters out there because Zeitler didn't play and clearly Cushenberry didn't play. So, they did. They gave especially in that second series, they gave Cam a pretty good cylinder to throw out of, and when he had a chance to throw out of the cylinder, then he had a chance for those transcontinentals or those TRCs with those cut splits. That's where Ridley was getting most of his catches, is being able to run those transcontinentals and run away from people. But it takes time. Those transcontinentals go, from across the field from numbers to numbers, and you got to have time to throw it. So that was a good part of it. But they didn't have their whole offensive line playing either.
When you look at a player like James Williams, he played a lot of the game. I believe he tied the team in tackles with Cedric Gray, but he was also kind of a tone setter, which has been brought up numerous times by Brian Callahan since that game. How important is having a young player like that kind of start getting into that groove as a tone setter, for this Tennessee Titans defense, but also for the team as a whole?
What's going to be, young players are going to have to play. This is a rebuilding team. So young players, especially these draft choices, they're going to have to play. That's just the way it is. The numbers, the way the numbers are with this football team, and what you've done in a rebuilding year, those guys are going to have to play. Now, James Williams, has made progress from last year when he transported from a safety down to in the box. He's done a nice job, and plus, I think he's going to be a guy on special teams that Bones Fossil is going to be able to use. I really like what Cedric Gray has done since he's come back and stayed healthy this year. He missed a huge dose of what his indoctrination in the National Football League should have been last year, but then he knocked his shoulder down, in a pass pro drill, when he was rushing the passer early on in camp last year, and missed a whole lot of time. So I think those 2 guys have both come on very well. And also, I think the addition of Cody Barton as a middle linebacker has settled those 2 down. We just need Titans need some more young players just to start to step up. They're not going to be finished product, but I think what you're looking for is a little bit of progress. And I agree with you; those 2 guys showed some progress, at least from the line of scrimmage in that ball game against Tampa.
We're on the phone with Coach Mack doing his weekly Mack Attack, brought to you by Two Rivers Ford, the South's most trusted Ford dealer.
Hey, Coach Mack, I'm going to let the caller here, I don't know what they're going to ask. They just said Titans there. Steve give you a question here. Pull him up there, Jackson. What you want to ask Coach Mack? Give Coach Mack a Mack attack question.
Hey, guys, it's kind of hard to come on after Coach Mack.
Exactly.
But I just wanted to say Cam Ward, for the possessions he was in, he looked really good. And like Coach is saying, they're going to need some more skill players, the young guys, to step up. And Coach Mack, which of the wide receivers, which of the skill players do you think, are going to be really significant? And, guys, I'm a Niner fan. I wanted to just mention a second, if I could, about – I watched Get Up this morning. They're picking the Niners last in the NFC East, West, and some of them picking them first. Alabama fans, Mac Jones found a home. But anyway, that's all I wanted to say about the boys. Back to the Titans, which are my favorite AFC team. Coach Mack, I love listening to you. Thanks for taking a minute to talk to me. Just want to hear what you have to say about the skill position players. And, Big Jeff causing some havoc down in Atlanta. Hey, this isn't a touchy-feely sport, I can't wait.
There you go, Steve.
I can't wait for the regular season when him and Sweat get together and start wreaking havoc on some offenses in the AFC. But Coach and guys, congratulations on being selected as one of the top 5 sports talk shows in the nation. You guys are the best.
Appreciate it.
I travel a lot. I'm from New York. Go to LA quite a bit. But as far as I'm concerned, I always catch you guys when I get off the golf course every day. And you guys, in my favorite show, Zach, is you and Hitman.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it a lot.
Guys.
Thanks, Steve.
Coach Mack. You guys have a great day, guys. I'll talk to you next week.
Yeah,
right, thanks.
Coach Mack, what do you think about those wide receivers and skill guys? What they need to do to step up? He asked 50 billion questions, but, that was all great. What'd you think, Coach?
Well, I couldn't. Steve was starting with a pretty good question. Yeah, I mean, look, this is a young group. Calvin Ridley is gonna be the guy to carry this group, but you've got 2 other vets that are going to figure into this thing. But you would like for the young receivers to come on, but it's going to take time for them to come on. I mean, that's just the nature of what this league is, especially when you're young and you're coming in. There's a lot you have to learn, even though you've got raw ability. So you just have to be patient. I mean, I've learned, that's one thing I've learned in my 39 years in this league is patience.
Yeah, no doubt about it, Coach. I wanted to ask you this because I have to do this. You're actually there at games, but I go back and watch, whether it's preseason or regular season, go back and watch the game, and you end up watching, different players or, more scheming. You see things that you don't see actually been there live. I just wonder, do you do that, and then do you come back then in your mind and see some things differently?
Yeah, well, I mean, I always will watch the game. Here's what I do, Blaine, with full disclosure. I'm not watching the game to grade players. I'm really not. Uh-huh. What I'm looking at is to be able to try to translate what they're trying to do schematically, what people are trying to do against them, and see how that, especially during the season, see how that translates into the next week. Look, they've got plenty of guys that they pay to grade these players. I graded players for 31 years. I don't grade players anymore. What I look at is schematically to see what people are trying to do against them and what may come up with the next opponent. Because basically, when you're doing a color analyst for a game, that's what you're doing is analyzing what's going on with the play, what is the reasons they're doing it, how they're doing it. As far as grading the players, I don't look at it to grade players. I look at it schematically to see how the overarching part of it's working for the team.
Yeah, no doubt about it. No, I didn't ask about being graded, but who stood out, I guess, outside of Cam Ward on the first drive? Any notable players? Let's say one player on offense and one player on defense.
Yeah, well, Ridley. First of all, Ridley is, we know he's the dude, and he stood out. He was the guy. He stood out. I also thought that J.C. Latham and Moore did a good job at the tackle. They did a nice job, with what was going on. And defensively, I really, of course, Big Jeff and Big Sweat, didn't play. So what I thought, those young linebackers that we talked about, James Williams and Gray, I thought those 2 guys stepped up and at least showed that they were taking some of the nuances of their coaching into the ball game with them. They were active. They were very active. The other thing I like the way Femi looked. Look, Femi's a good athlete. he's not refined at all with his pass rush. But when it's in chase mode or it's in pursuit mode, that dude's out ahead of everybody. So if he'll continue that with a motor, then he's got a chance to perfect the other things that he's going to need in his craft as far as rushing.
Coach, now I know you've been in the league a long time. We're with Coach Mack giving us Mack Attack. Kind of take us through why it's so important for most teams or all teams to have a good backup quarterback.
Well, I mean, here's what quality depth on good football teams is what separates you. But when you're building a football team, quality depth is the hardest thing to develop, because it takes time in a talent acquisition period to get it. Now, backup quarterbacks, throughout this league, I mean, when you start looking at it, I mean, the backup quarterbacks, they're only important when you have to play them. That's when they're important, is when you have to play them. So, to me, quality depth throughout is really important to building the football team. But while you're doing it, while you're building a football team, then what you're looking for is the best people, because you know as well as I do that especially in a 17-week season, there's a chance that something's going to happen. So you would like to at least have somebody at that position that could go in and at least hold the line for you till your real guy gets back.
And lastly, Coach, when you're doing what the Titans are doing, or somewhat an example of that, 2 weeks on the road, let's say, and you're playing in preseason or even the regular season, kind of give us the thought process behind all of that when you're the head coach, what you're thinking, because there's pros and cons to everything. Kind of take us through those kind of conversations you've been in and, how that's beneficial. Because we heard the Titans say we started off slow. It could be because, the travel and not at home. But at the end of the day, your athletes, there are no excuses. You got to go perform once you put on the hat, the helmet.
Well, that's part of it, because there are no excuses, and you want to make it look, especially with a young football team, you need to expose them to as much difficulty as you can early on, because they're going to be exposed to difficulty. When this football team goes to Denver, that's going to be difficult, because as young a team as you got, you're going to get everything thrown at you, and so you have to respond. I mean, that's part of maturing and growing up in this league, and especially when you've got a team as young as this one's going to be. You need to put them in some situations where they're forced to respond. And if it's not immediate success, well then, how are they going to bow their neck and come back and figure it out? And if the players are saying that we started slow, well then it's the players that, got to figure it out together as to how they're going to do it. But one thing that you are 100% right on, when you do something like this, there are no excuses. There are no excuses. There's no excuses about travel, about, we're all staying away from home. We're in a different place. I mean, we got in here at 4:00 in the morning after a ball game on a Sunday. Doesn't matter. Get your rest and then go to work. This league is hard, and so you might as well find out how well you're going to handle the hard pretty quick.
Coach Mack, in this defense, I've noticed that the cornerbacks seem to be trying to funnel the running backs back towards the linebackers. Is that correct? Is that what I'm seeing?
Well, it depends on what the coverage is.
Gotcha.
Depends on what coverage it is. I mean, if you're playing a two shell and it's cover two, you're always forcing everything back inside. Even if you're a 3 deep corner, you still have your help. You still have to have your help back inside. If you're a cornerback, whether it's cover 2 or cover 3, there's 9 people inside of you. So that's universal as to what's going on. Blaine, before we get off of here, Lance Schulters, Jerry Gray, and then Raheem Morris, I spent quite a bit of time with them today, and they told me to give you a what's up.
I said hello. Yeah, no doubt. We've been texting back and forth.
I mean, those are 3 dudes right there now.
Yeah.
I mean, those are guys that I've really enjoyed during my coaching career, especially on the defensive side of the football. So just wanted to let you know that before we jump off of here.
Well, just last question here. What kind of differences or variety can this Falcons defense give, schematically or whatever, give for Cam Ward in terms of experience and between them and the Bucks, what's the difference?
Well, I mean, they play some similar defenses, but the thing you're just looking at it's something that he's not used to, and you're going to get 2 days of practice against these people and then a ball game. And so, look, everything for a young quarterback, it's all new. It's an all new growing process. So you ask me, what can he learn? Everything, because he hasn't seen anything yet. He hasn't been in this league yet. He hasn't seen anything. So, and I don't know how much Jeff Ulbricht's gonna throw at him during the ball game. Both teams were playing a lot of base stuff today. A lot of base coverages in 7-on-7 and in team. I don't know how much Jeff's going to throw at him in the ball game, but you ask me what he can learn. He can learn everything, every snap, because it's all new to him.
And for tomorrow's practice, I mean, back-to-back joint practices, how will tomorrow differ a little bit from today as far as how they structure it? Are they going to do different things than they did today at that practice?
No, it'll be the same structure. They did a little bit of everything today. You had some good 7-on-7. You had team. You had red zone. You had a 2-minute drill. Both teams got 2-minute drills. And then also you had some extensive kicking. I mean, and some extensive coverage and some extensive kickoff cover, some extensive kickoff return. I mean, if you've got the advantage of being able to work against a team, what you're doing is getting double reps, because now you've got 91 players. Say you've got 91 players. Say you got 90 players on each team. What you get, because you work on separate fields, you're getting twice as much work. So they'll have the same structure that they had today, and to me, it's invaluable work just because of the number of reps that you could get. Because once you get into a preseason game, you've only got 4 quarters to try to get 90 guys a limited number of reps. There's just not enough to go around. There's a lot to go around because the coaches can control it in this type of environment.
Well, Coach, real quick, here on the chat, Nick Ewing says that you coached with Raheem Morris at Kansas State. What roles were you guys in at that time?
No. We didn't. We crossed over each other. We never coached together. Raheem's been in the league a long time. And look, I mean, I've done it all.
I know you know everybody, but I was like, oh, that's interesting. I didn't know that.
No, I didn't. We weren't on the same staff there. But I started, off as a defensive coach in this league. So most defensive coaches that have been in this league for the last 39 years, I know who they are.
But at some point you were at Kansas State, though, right?
3 years.
3 years. Oh, okay, gotcha. Y'all just weren't there at the same time. I didn't think so because y'all were a little different in age there.
All right, that will do it for us as Coach Mack for his weekly Mack Attack here, brought to you by Tours Ford, South's most trusted Ford dealer. Coach Mack, really appreciate it. Enjoy, Flowery Branch.
Yeah, we're in Flowery Branch. Blaine, I'll tell those 3 dudes tomorrow that you said what's up.
Oh, yeah, we'll do, man. Yeah, we've been texting back and forth.
I figured you had, man.
Yeah.
We'll see you guys.
All right.
All right, when we come back, we'll continue to talk about the Tennessee Titans. This is Cover 2 with Blaine Bishop and Zach Lyons here on 104.5 The Zone.
Let's talk insurance. King and Associates Insurance. They're independent agents, and that's a big difference. But it goes beyond just having multiple companies to shop, weeding out the non-competitive companies, keeping a great relationship with the biggest and the best, along with bundling. But unfortunately, life happens, and they get it. Here's a true story about my friend and coworker that switched from a previous independent agent, got better coverage on his home and its contents, and even automobiles, had flawless communication and true champion in the corner. After his 16-year-old daughter's accident, they saved thousands of dollars and thousands from an independent agent who was overcharging him for years. So you can make the switch and save the same, if not more. But don't make the switch because he did, I did. Switch because you should. And as a business, family, or an individual, make the switch to King & Associates Insurance. And I'm sure you could go for saving a little moolah, too, at the same time. So all you have to do is just give them a call at 615-382-5228. 321-8121. That's 321-8121 or online at tkinginsurance.com.
Cover 2 with Blaine Bishop and Zach Lyons here on 104.5 The Zone, powered by All Four Seasons Garage Doors. 615-737-1045 is the number. I've been going through all the practice notes, and I like to go through the Atlanta Falcons beats writer practice notes.
Right. See what they're saying on those.
2 interceptions for Cam Ward, multiple batted passes on Cam Ward for today.
A lot of PBUs, huh?
A lot of PBUs.
That means almost.
And then, he almost threw an almost interception to Elikai Manor. And now I'm beginning to wonder, should we not? Because that's where that almost interception was going, from Sunday to Monday.
No, it was going to Chig.
It may be going to Chig, but I'm just like, maybe we just don't throw to Elikai Manor right now. I don't know.
There you go.
And then the Atlanta defense also forced a fumble that would have been returned for a touchdown. So it would have been, on the offense, at least 14-point swing based on turnovers today. So not a great day. It needs to be better tomorrow. I'm not pushing panic alarms or anything, but this goes back to what we kind of talked about Cam Ward is that he's kind of got a gunslinger mentality, but he can overcome some of these mistakes. On the field.
I think I'm going to say this, because a fan said this to me.
Yeah.
He said, well, Blaine, you said he's really, he's a gunslinger. I said, yeah, but he's a controlled gunslinger.
Yeah, he's got arm arrogance is what someone put.
Yeah,
I like that
I
one.
like that a little bit better, too. Yeah. So he's going to have to, he's going to have to learn his lumps, and he's going to go through this. I'm not surprised. I just, man, the picks, like PBU, so that means a lot of dudes couldn't catch like I couldn't. Once you get in the league, things are coming a lot faster and harder. And sometimes you got to overlook it in all the way. But as a defensive guy, I don't like it at all. And I want to see how he responds tomorrow. Because if he comes out and lights him up, then I'm like, oh, he went and watched tape, figured out what they were doing to him. Now, they may come back and do something totally different tomorrow. They may, I don't know, do whatever they didn't do today. Yeah. It makes it a little easier or maybe confusing. I don't know, but that's the NFL. They make adjustments series to series, different than like college, where there's not a lot of adjustments. It's just a better team typically wins.
Tennessee had most of its success on crossing routes, according to this beat reporter, Adnan Ikic, I guess is his name.
Oh, I don't know.
So, but he said Tennessee had its most success on crossing routes, that Cam Ward couldn't get anything completed downfield. Natrone Brooks had multiple. Deontay Manning, A.J. Terrell had multiple. Jesse Bates were among guys with batted down passes. So you at least had 4 batted down passes, but 2 of those guys had multiple. So we're talking at least a minimum 6 batted down passes on these wide receivers, I guess, because I don't think they're going to be at the line of scrimmage. These are all defensive backs, I assume.
Did he have a couple picks, too? Or
he had two interceptions. Yeah. Mike Ford and Jesse Bates had interceptions against Ward. Ford had the ball thrown right into his chest, and Bates snagged a pass batted into the air by A.J. Terrell, which, according to Easton Freeze, was the most unlucky batted pass turned interception he's ever seen. We'll have to get more information about that because that's all he wrote, and that really doesn't help paint a picture, especially if you can't take a video.
Once the ball's batted, I mean, you don't know where the ball's going to go.
It would have ended up being a pick 6 on that as well. That's what I'm saying. We had 2 turnovers, one of them that was a pick 6, and the other one, which is a Mike Hughes peanut punch on a ball carrier. Does not say which ball carrier, so probably one of the running backs.
Oh, he did the Memphis peanut punch.
Yeah, the Davion Ross. And that would have been taken back for a touchdown, too. Yep. So it's not a great start. Like I mean, they all said it, so none of this should really come as a surprise.
Team?
Yes. I think some of these were 7-on-7s.
Okay. Oh, and that's even worse. So 7-on-7 is definitely the offensive end.
I think some probably were 7-on-7s, if I'm not mistaken. This doesn't technically clarify what part of the drill it was on.
I don't know.
But boy, not a great start. And you also
you gonna have me stress eating.
I know.
Here,
I'm
man.
sorry. You want more of those ranch Frito Lays? Ranch flavored Fritos.
Stress eating over here, man. This is not good, man. I'm trying to do good here.
I just want to see something tomorrow. Like I want it. Like with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they say they started slow, but I felt like they ended pretty hot with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at practice. It wasn't a clean practice, but you could feel they were competing and all that kind of stuff. And now today,
like they got some momentum.
I never
going.
felt there was a start slow issue in Tampa, I guess. And today, for them to even acknowledge that maybe they did get up to a slow start, that didn't seem to be the jive I felt like from that practice. But here, the vibes are not good, and you're coming off a couple of days of rest. Does that affect it? I mean, that shouldn't affect it, but can being out of a groove like that affect it?
Chestnut fumbled too, and oh my God!
Maybe he was the one that fumbled. Maybe that when I said the ball carrier fumbled, I do remember someone saying that Julius Chestnut fumbled. So maybe he was the guy that guy was referencing.
Yeah. Well, we're going to see. Got to regroup and come back tomorrow.
And we saw that in the Tampa Bay game, right? They, like Coach Mack said, you went 3 and out. which is not good, by the way. We should not discount how that's not a good thing that they went 3 and out. But they were able to come back and answer. I don't want them to constantly have to overcome adversity. They did all that last year, and they never overcame the adversity. And I'm glad that they can overcome it, but I'd like to see, I want to see the Tennessee Titans in a regular season game. Preseason, I would love to see it, but a regular season game matters more. Dictate the game.
Yeah, well, I'm just going back on what head coach Callahan said is, we want to know what they think of us when we leave from the practice, not just, preseason game.
You think they're probably being like, oh, these guys.
So when you left Tampa, you felt like, we were close. We went too far behind. We were right there. That's how I want to feel when they leave this practice tomorrow. That y'all got us that first day. We won this second day, and then it'll be preseason game, and then I don't know how much their guys are playing. I don't think Penix or Cousins is playing in the preseason game. Someone reported that, I thought.
The last thing I saw was Jeff Ulbrich saying that you would have to ask Raheem Morris about any of the starters playing.
I don't think they are. At least the starting two quarterbacks are Cousins and Penix, but we'll see. So, guess what? It could only go up.
Yeah, last week they did not play. It was just Easton Stick and Emory Jones.
Right.
Were the quarterbacks.
You would think they're going to play.
Wouldn't you want them to play at some point? You wouldn't want to wait till the last preseason game, would you?
I don't know. I would want them to play. Penix is a second-year guy,
Yeah. He lit them up today.
He was lighting them up.
He was, apparently. Lighting them up over the middle, which is not great for your linebackers or anybody really in coverage. And
But when the linebackers get lit up, that the secondary gets the blame for that, right? Don't you know that?
I always blame. I did not know that.
I'm talking about in the stat sheet. The passing yardage. When you think
it always goes to the line. I get what you're saying. Yeah.
The stat says it's like, dang, but our linebackers are the ones who gave up the yardage there.
See, that's why I do like PFF advanced stats. They do assign blame properly.
Right.
They're great, Sting.
They bit up on the cheese. He's supposed to be sitting right there.
Well, we'll see. I will be off for the next 2 days. Okay. I'll be back Friday, and then you'll be off Friday. So this will be the last time we see each other, and all the way till Monday.
We got to give a hug then.
And we'll have to hug after the practice. I have to hug Jackson as well. Hey. I'll be out the next 2 days. Lucas will be in. Then Stoney will be in for you on Friday. This is Cover 2 with Blaine Bishop and Zach Lyons here on 105 The Zone. And in the meantime.
And in between time.
Peace.
Let's face it, buying a vehicle should be straightforward and stress-free, and that's exactly how Two Rivers Ford has been doing business for decades. This locally owned dealership has a non-commissioned sales team whose only focus is to find you the right vehicle at the right price without the pressure. So you'll actually have a fun car buying experience. Great prices, easy financing, and a non-commissioned sales team. Two Rivers Ford, the South's most trusted Ford dealer.